Here we are. We are live. Thanksgiving Day. Happy Thanksgiving to all of our friends in the United States celebrating this beautiful hobby. What? Yeah, you can celebrate this hobby, but we're celebrating the hobby on a beautiful holiday. To answer the million-dollar question that was asked by, who was it? Salient Aquatics. Are we going to be able to talk comfortably without eating too much, because we ate too much food? The answer is yeah, because we didn't have Thanksgiving dinner today.
Yeah, I had leftover pizza.
Yeah, so did I. But don't feel sorry for us. It was completely planned this way. We are celebrating Thanksgiving on Saturday. Mm-hmm. All the kids are coming down. So, it's fine. I mean, you weren't going to cook 2 Thanksgiving dinners. No. Although it would have been nice. But it'll be nice on Saturday.
I think that would have been such a waste of a turkey, though.
Yeah, it would have almost needed to just be like a little turkey breast or something, which you don't even eat meat. So it would have only been for me. You could have just bought some turkey at the deli and we would have been fine.
Gross.
But hey, we're happy to be here. I had something that I wanted to do that I didn't do. Not because I was too busy, but because I simply forgot. I wanted to watch last year's live stream that we did on Thanksgiving and just see how different things are right now. And I could do that easily. I mean, I could tell you what I was going to try to get out of that, but to be able to look at where we were a year ago and then look where we are now, we would have been able to say, oh, we got a whole lot of things to be thankful for.
Yeah, I think it was worse though the year before that. For sure. Because, I mean, think about it. Last year we went to 3 Aquashellas and then it was Thanksgiving. It's like, it was different, but it was not as bad, in my opinion, as the year before that. That was really bad. So many families didn't get together.
Yeah, you're right. There was not a member stream. Sorry, Marley. That's the one thing that we were not able to do today. We've had a rather stressful last few days, and it's only because we have been remodeling our living room, family room, the room where the TV is, and all of that. And it's been going on for almost a month, or has it been a month?
It's probably been a month. I don't know. Ask Zen. I kept her updated.
Yeah.
With my stress.
What do we have here? Oh. It's been a long process, and the reason why it's been a long process is because I refuse to rush these kind of things, because this is our forever home and I want to do it right. And so it took forever. But
it definitely did.
We're gonna have a house full of people. The grandkids are gonna be here. The future grandkid that's still in the belly is going to be here. Everybody's going to be here this weekend. Well, CJ won't be, which that's unfortunate, but everybody else will be here. And we had to have everything done before they got here. So it's been a mad scramble. I spent 3 days laying flooring, which I love when it's done. I do not love the process.
I always feel so bad for you when you have to do flooring. That's just...
I enjoy it, but at the same time, the getting up and down on my knees and my knees don't like that. So, but when it's done, it's like, so nice. So, it's still not 100%. It's about 95% done. But it's done enough for the kids to come, and we'll have a nice Thanksgiving weekend, and that's it. So, so Thanksgiving has been. I cut the grass today. I mean, you've been scrambling, cleaning the house.
Yeah, it's still basically a work day. So, and that's fine because Thanksgiving's going to be on Saturday. It's going to be great, and yeah. So.
And just so you know, the grass didn't get long. I cut the grass today to basically cut the leaves instead of raking all the leaves. I used the lawnmower to grind up all of the leaves, and it looks great.
And they look really nicer on the trees. So
yeah, and it's funny because I was listening to Harry Potter, which is what I do when I'm mowing the grass, and I'm out there, and my neighbor drove by, and I waved, and I'm like, he must be like, those poor people.
Yeah.
They're out there. He's out there cutting the grass on Thanksgiving. Poor guy. Like they must not have any family. We don't know them yet. We've met the wife. We haven't met the husband. And but anyway, it was still a good day. A day on the lawnmower is a good day. But anyway, how is all of your Thanksgivings going? Lots of people eating. Lots of people enjoying time with family, watching football. I watched about 10 minutes of football and I was like, okay, whatever.
There was football today. I think it's a team that Ed likes too. It's red. I think it's a red team.
Chiefs. I don't know. It was when I turned it on, it was the Cowboys and Giants. Before that was the Lions and the Bills. I don't know who's playing tonight. You might be right. It might be Kansas City. I don't really care because I don't really follow football anymore. And I do miss it, but you know, we're not going to get into all the reasons why I'm not going to.
Speaking of sports, oh my gosh. Last weekend I went to my daughter's, her team, field hockey game. They had made it to the finals, and they won in the semifinals, and then they made it to the finals, and they lost in overtime. So no Washington this year, but that's okay. They still made the cut as far as their numbers and stuff like that. So they're still in like the NCAA's coaches picks or whatever, something like that. So, but anyways, that's over with.
I was not able to go to the game because I was laying the flooring, and I texted her
such a long drive
afterwards, and I said, "Hey, I'm sorry you all lost today, but overall, it was an extraordinary season. They went undefeated in their
you should have seen
conference.
Their faces. They were like, "We lost. We don't know how to do that."
They hadn't lost in 15 games.
Yeah. Crazy.
So yeah, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, it's not going to interfere with their holidays now. So that's a good thing. But
they were going to have to go back, and this weekend they were going to have to be practicing and stuff, and my daughter wouldn't have made it home. So it's okay. They can go next year.
We have a good fish question here that just popped up.
Oh.
I like when they're good fish questions, especially when the person even says good one. Like, hey, y'all buckle up because this is a good question. And it's true. Glow Fish Keeping, which says, is it possible to test a tank after a large feeding of, let's say, bloodworms to confirm establishment of bacteria? Is it possible to catch the ammonia or nitrite spikes? So how can I think of an analogy? Because I like to do that. I like to do analogies. But I just don't think I can keep one. I don't think I can come up with one. When you put something in the water, it does not instantaneously cause ammonia. It doesn't do that. The ammonia is caused by the rotting of that food, the breakdown of the food. It's not an instant thing. How fast does it happen? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know that anybody's ever answered that. I'd be curious to know if anybody has ever done any kind of study saying, you know, this is how long it takes for ammonia to spike or something like that after you feed exactly what this person's asking. I don't know that there's ever been a study like that. The answer to the question is no. I don't think. I mean, I know putting food in the tank is not going to instantaneously cause ammonia. Well, the easy answer to the question is no. It's you can't do that. But I'd be interested to know if you do a study and you find out how long that period of time is before it happens. That would be interesting. I think would probably be several days, possibly a week, maybe even more before it would, before you would actually see anything happen like that. So there you go. We're going to play better tonight. Go Vikings. Okay. That's good. Good for you. I hope you do. We did get a message before the stream started, and I believe it's Kalen. Didn't he email and say, my name is pronounced Kalen Shepherd? I believe that's what he said. If you're in here watching, tell me if I'm right or not. But he said, Oscar's ruling. I don't care what the poll says. 57,846 viewers can't be wrong. So true.
That would have been from last week's poll, and I didn't write anything down for it. But you know what? It doesn't mean that it's not something we couldn't talk about, because
you can pull the information up right there.
I have this thing called internet. And I can actually look this up really quickly, because I was actually very disappointed in yesterday's poll about what are you thankful for this year. I asked, it was either family, friends, fish keeping, all the above, or other, and there was just a few trolls in there, and I was like, it was just disappointing, because it wasn't so much, I mean, they were being rude to other people, which made me mad. So I was like, you know how easy it is just to block your butt? No, not a big deal. You're gone.
Why do retards have to ruin everything? I just hate that.
Anyway, so last week's poll was, hypothetically, if there were only Oscar fish and beta fish, which would you choose? And then I made sure I put in quotations, hypothetically, the meaning of it, imagining a possibility rather than reality. Because there's always that person, well, there's never going to only be beta fish and Oscar fish, or, you know, I'm like, anyways, that's why I said hypothetically. So there were 4 answers. It could have been Oscar fish, beta fish, why not both, and neither. And beta fish came in at 53%, and then Oscar fish at 30%, and then why not both at 13%, and then neither at 3%, which is fine. But it was 7.1 thousand votes, 278 likes, and 119 comments. But I'll read a couple. Rocky and Miles said, I love them both, but since I have a small home, I can only have nano tanks. So betas it is. I have 6 tanks ranging from 3 to 20 gallons, but Oscars are so cute. Agreed. No, I don't agree with that.
Hey, how dare you?
I don't think
get out of my office, you. I'm going to take your bobblehead down too.
Deputy Charles says, just picked up my first Oscar the other day, and he is amazing. I can't believe the personality of this fish. And then Jeff H said, no doubt both. We're fortunate enough to have the room for lots of tanks, so sign us up for both. Man, I'd hate to have to choose, and wow, am I happy that not all we have available in the non-hypothetical fish keeping reality. That's awesome.
Somebody that understands what hypothetical means.
Yeah, so.
I have to make 2 announcements that I was supposed to make 14 minutes ago and forgot to.
Oh, true. Yeah,
because they're kind of important. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a subscriber to our website, meaning you've, given your email and signed up for the newsletter type of thing, you just got an email 14 minutes ago that said, hey, guess what? Black Friday's starting now. It started at 8 o'clock. When we started the stream, we started our special, which is going to go through the whole weekend, which is 15% off everything on the site. Everything. Including 2 brand new products that we just picked up. If you've been sitting on the edge of your seat for the last few weeks wondering, because I did a video about these filters. Mm-hmm. We did a video about the filters. You took over and decided it was going to be your video.
I didn't do that on purpose, though.
It became your video, and it became better because of it. We set up on multiple tanks out in the fish house, the CJ Whale canister filter, as well as the Space Echo. And I love them both. I think we both love them both. They both have their pros and cons. However, for ease of use, for ease of maintenance, for more affordability, even though, the
macaroni and cheese got you.
I had macaroni and cheese for dinner.
Kraft.
I'm like a child. I love that. And I love Lucky Charms and I love Fruity Pebbles. Anyway.
I'm just so glad you didn't make the Paw Patrol this time and you made the actual elbow macaroni and cheese.
I bought a 5-pack of macaroni and cheese one time, not realizing it was Paw Patrol. It tastes exactly the same, but it is a little embarrassing.
It's so funny. I took a picture of it and Zen knows. I sent it to Zen.
But I'm in the middle of a big announcement here. You're ruining it.
Sorry.
Because of ease of use, a little bit more affordability, even though canister filters are expensive, no matter which one you go with. Not overly expensive and not as expensive as the other. We went with the Space Echo. I'm a big fan of this filter. I'm a big fan of both of them. And there is a possibility that we may pick up the Whale down the road too, depending on what the interest is. I mean, if a lot of people are interested in them, if the Space Echoes do well and we're selling a lot of them, then it might make sense to bring those in right now. But, because we are a small mom and pop thing in our backyard, we got to take it slow.
Not our garage anymore. We got a 1,500 square foot building specifically for it, of which I'm going to be occupying some of that space for all of my tools. But anyway, it's in the back. You haven't even seen it. Don't worry. There's a back room on our barn that I'm going to start using for my tools because the spot I have now is just not big enough. Okay. Gosh, you get so off topic.
So we brought in the Space Echo. They are on the site now, all 3 sizes. Very excited about that. And due to high demand, due to so many people asking, and due to this lady sitting next to me constantly saying, we need to get these, we need to get these, we need to get these.
2 years I've been telling you.
The Ultra Zero is on there now too. This is one of those products, folks, that it's a hard sell because of the cost. It's not a cheap product. But it is one of those that if you can swing it, or if you have a fish keeping friend that you want to buy it for them for Christmas or something like that, it is an absolute home run of a product.
It is. I'm so glad we had it when our basement flooded
at
that time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad I have it when I have to do a water change on a 360 gallon tank, or when we had to drain all of those tanks to move them. I mean, there's so many times that we've used that thing and it's just absolutely come in clutch every single time we've needed it. So, we brought those in too. So they're in there. The Space Echoes are in there. There's very few things on our website that are out of stock right now. I don't think it's going to be that way long, though, because of the Black Friday thing and all of that. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be buying these things, and our quantities are limited. I'm not being a salesman. I'm just telling you the truth. So if any of these things or anything else that we have on the website interests you, they might not be here Monday. The sale is going to go through Cyber Monday. So we're hoping to have a big banger weekend here.
Here's a good question, since you're a filter person. Oink Master Supreme Forever asked, I always do my best to work around my physical limitations. That being said, what would you recommend for a first-time canister filter, probably to filter a 55-gallon tank?
Well, this... and I've met her in person. She is an itty bitty thing. So it makes, I totally understand. If we're talking about Space Echoes here, I probably would go with the largest, which is the 300. That's made for up to an 80-gallon tank. But the 200 is up to a 50-gallon. So it's just under what you have there. The difference in size is not going to be something that you would be like, whoa, it's not like going from a Fluval 407 to an FX6. The difference in size is minimal. But the reason why I like this filter and the reason why we picked it up is because of how easy it is to maintain it. There's one connector that you can pull out, which disconnects both hoses with no dripping. There's no water gushing everywhere. Right. You pull a little switch, you pop them out, they're out of there.
That was, I like that about
it. I mean, and
really
that's on the Whale and the Space Echo. It's a very, very good feature. And then, you know, if you're not able to pick the filter up and carry it to wherever you're going to be doing your maintenance, the good thing about this, and one of the biggest reasons, the biggest selling points for me, is that with the Space Echo, you can pop the top open, 4 little switches that you pop open, the lid comes off, and all 3 of the trays pull right out. One handle, you reach down there, you pull all 3 of them out, you put them in your bucket, and you take them to the sink or whatever you're going to do. With the Whale, which the Whale is a great filter, but you would be individually getting underneath your cabinet and pulling up each individual tray. That's not a bad thing. I mean, it's not a big deal, especially for somebody like me that would actually remove it and take it to your slop sink. Then it doesn't really matter. But if you have to leave the filter in place, this is the one that's going to make it so much easier to do that. So that's what I would do, Oink Master, is go with the larger one. It's not going to be overwhelmingly large, and it's going to make it very easy to do the maintenance. And the good thing, and I think a thing that not a lot of people talk about, and I will be talking about this when I do a video dedicated to the Space Echo, you don't have to maintain canister filters as much as you do other filters. This is not the kind of thing that you're going to have to take apart once a week and completely dismantle it and clean it all out and replace media. If you do that, you are wasting money.
Right.
These filters, if you have an average stocked tank, I mean, if you got 88 yellow labs in there in a 55-gallon tank, which first of all, shame on you. But if you had a tank that was just massively overstocked and you're feeding them 3 times a day, I would still probably clean a canister filter once a month. But if you have an average, a moderate level stocking, small fish, you're feeding them like a normal person would feed fish. You could get away with cleaning these things every couple of months. And I'm not exaggerating. And that's across the board. That's all canister filters. That's not just this one. It's not like this one is made so that you don't have to clean it. It's not like that at all. You can just clean it every couple of months. It doesn't really matter what canister filter you have. And it's because there's so much media in there.
I have to say something real quick. Jay Fuller, it's the wrong stream.
Primetime sounds a lot like 7 Series. What?
This is at KG, not at Primetime.
My beard is nowhere near as glorious as Jason, and my muscles are not nearly as... Okay, I didn't mean for that to get weird, but yeah, at KG Tropicals next time will probably be a little easier to...
I think the cool thing about the canister filters too, you can watch our video about it, and if you watch it, you'll remember things just because of the mistakes that he made, and it'll just make you think, oh, that's right. Don't do that. John messed up on that. I'm not going to do that. So that's the cool thing about watching.
The only one I really messed up on the Whale. I didn't prime the Whale properly. Yeah. But that was my fault. That was not the filter's fault. Guy Winter Kiri. That's a weird, I don't mean weird. That's a hard name to say. Guy Winter Kiri. I have a 400-gallon laying around and it has sump holes. Should I set up a sump or should I seal them and use canisters, doing a fresh water, by the way? Oh man, that is a tough one. First of all, how do you have a 400-gallon aquarium laying around? Wow. Like it's
a huge aquarium.
Blasphemous. Like you can get arrested in some states for having a tank that size and not having live creatures in it. You know what? Listen, I have 3 sump filtration. Actually, we have 5 now because the beta systems run on Sumps. And I love Sumps. I think they're amazing. There is no more versatility in a filtration system.
I like my sumps too. I'm a woman and I take care of the 2 sumps. And I say that because you think that it's something only men would do. You know what I mean? You hear...
Very sexist of you. Jeez,
no,
it's 2022. Wake up, lady.
I'm just saying, you usually... I know guys like to tinker with that stuff and all, but it's great. I love it. You can put all kinds of stuff in there, and my pothos, and it helps, with the just everything. I love it, and just stick all the. I can't. Yeah, it's awesome.
Sumps are awesome. they really are, and from a versatility standpoint, and from a sheer movement of water standpoint. I mean, the sumps that I have in all 3 of my big tanks, they move a lot of water. I mean, and they're fantastic with only one drawback. And I've said this in many videos. It's every single sump system on Earth. It's not just mine. It is all of them. Sumps are loud. And if I'm outside and I'm sitting next to a pond, I want to hear water movement. I want that waterfall sound. I do not want that when I'm sitting in my fish room. It's one thing if you have a working fish room, meaning you're making money from your fish room, which I guess technically we are, but not that way. Like you're breeding fish or you're raising fish, and whatever it is, you're a fish distributor or wholesaler, whatever, you're probably not going to have a silent system. Our fish room is more of a studio than it is a working fish room.
Well, except mine.
Well, yeah, yours. And you know what? If you kept the water a little higher in your sumps, you probably wouldn't have as much noise as you do. But it is a loud system because it's a 300 tank.
I put water in it. It's called evaporation.
I know. They're loud. That's the only complaint I have about sumps. And I debated when I got my 240, my second 240, I debated not getting the sump system. Again, not because it's not good, it's great, but because I wanted to quiet it down. But then my thing is, what kind of a difference is it going to make if I have 3 large tanks? One of them's silent, but the other 2 sound like a babbling brook. I mean, why do that? So I didn't opt for that. And I tried to do my own DIY system. Didn't work out all that well. It was a stupid idea that I had, and I ended up buying a sump system from Custom Aquariums. It just is what it is. So I love sumps. But if your tank is in your living room or in your bedroom or somewhere where you spend a lot of time and you don't want that noise, do canisters. You have to look this up. I can't tell you which one, whoever it was that asked this question. It's been so long ago, I don't remember. You have to look it up, but some canisters will work with drilled tanks. I think the FX series will, but it's all a matter of getting the right plumbing fittings and all of that kind of stuff to adapt it to your system. Don't quote me on any of this, but I do believe I'm right that you can adapt sumps to work with your pre-drilled setup there, which would help. You don't have to seal those up. And if it does come to sealing them up, for God's sakes, don't use silicone and a patch and all that. No, just buy some bulkheads and some caps and put them on there and be done with that. It might cost you $20 a hole. It's going to be a whole lot better than using silicone and whatever. That's what I would do. Anyway, I go on and on and on about questions sometimes.
Well, that's what we had to do when we had the fish store with all those 10 gallons that had the drilled holes in them and stuff. You went and got the things.
Yeah, and those were unique because the holes were drilled in the bottoms of all the tanks. This was before tempered glass. These were old tanks. And the way they did it in the farm that we bought them from, they just ran a standpipe straight up, and that was the water level. So the water would roll over, and they had those strainers, those black strainers on them, which we threw them all away, which was dumb. But so that's all I did to correct that problem was put a piece of pipe sticking up higher than where we wanted the water to be. And that's how I took care of that. And we're talking about 300 tanks we had to do this to. So there was no getting in there and sealing up all of those. No, that was just not an option to do that. And it was nice they were there if we wanted to set up a recirculating system, but we never did.
I have something that I wanted to talk about real quick. I'm going to share it in Tank Talk, also the Facebook group. My friend Jen Williams is going to be doing an aquascaping demo next weekend. If there's anybody in the Virginia Beach area that's familiar with Jungle Aquatics, she's going to be doing it there. It's going to be, the time. I don't see where it says, I bet you I don't have the time, but I am going to put it on the Tank Talk, Facebook group. I'll put a post up, but it's on December the 3rd at Jungle Aquatics in Virginia Beach. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you are in that area, or you like aquascaping, or Jim Williams, or you just want to go to Jungle Aquatics and buy fish for some reason, then go. It's going to be great. I'm going to be there because I think it's going to be awesome. I've seen her do scapes several times, and she's amazing. So if you're around, you should go.
Jen is one of the goats, so you gotta
I
watch
love
her
Jen.
stuff.
Her and Mel are my favorite scapers.
Mel's awesome. Ligate 12, listening to you guys while setting up a new rack system for 875 gallons. Got to do it while the wife and kid are out of town. Hey, if there is, if there's a better way to spend Thanksgiving, I don't know that there is.
It starts at, that was the old one. Crap. It was at 10:30 originally, so it got rescheduled for December 3rd. So I believe it's still at 10:30. So 10:30 in the morning. Obviously not at night.
Stephanie McGettigan, I really hope I'm saying your name right. I think I've said that every time I've said your name. Said happy Thanksgiving right when the stream started. Thank you so much, and happy Thanksgiving to you too. UPS are living the dream. Hey, y'all, long time no see. Happy Thanksgiving to both of you. It has been a while since we've seen that
happy
name.
Thanksgiving, Katie. You're going to have a busy next month.
I want to see if anybody says, John, why did you just blink like that? You can see why I'm doing that. This idiot just decides to text me while we're in the middle of a stream. 84,000 people watching. Bob Steenfod has to bother me asking what kind of microphones we use. Geez, be a professional. Wait till we're done. They're the Shure SM7Bs. That's what they are. Of course they are. Lee, I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
DeBazio? I think that sounds right. DeBazio, I really hope, because she just says, here's $20 and just appreciation. That's all.
That's so sweet.
That's all. Bob's trying to sabotage me because he's mad because my beard looks better than his does now.
You better watch it. He'll end up making you a short.
Bob, the messenger is right next to Lisa's head. So that thing that you just sent,
it's right there.
It's right there.
Yeah, I see it, Bob. I mean, I hope.
It's nothing weird, folks. Don't take it that way.
Actually, Bob, I take that back. I don't see it. Because that sounded weird.
Danikin Aquatics. Hello, John and Lisa. Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, you too, Kenny. Hope y'all are doing well out there in the Pacific Northwest. weather's changing for them out there now, and it's
where?
I believe he's like near Portland.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I was out mowing the grass in t-shirt today. It was nice out there. The gnats came back.
No.
It was so nice today. Yeah.
Not
they were
the
here.
ones that play baseball.
No, not those.
I see somebody that is here. Hello, Sam Copper. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Look at this kid. All right. That's my nephew, y'all. So y'all better behave because he will take you out. You can't be messing around in here when he's around. Sean Damon, happy Thanksgiving. John and Lisa, I'm spending time with my mom and dad in Indiana. Oh, my daughter is taking care of our tanks and animals. Love y'all. Hey, look at that. Nice. Get to spend time with the folks and you got somebody taking care of the fish. That's a beautiful thing. We were talking about the other day, we got to go see my family for Christmas, and we're like, how are we going to do it? Because who's
going to watch the animals?
It's not like we can have a pet sitter come here on Christmas Day. I don't think that's going to work out. So good for you that you have somebody that can take care of the important ones. Tom Melopoulos.
Let me look, because you're so weird. It's
like I'm sorry.
Tom.
You understand what I'm going. You get it, right?
I'll find it.
It's a tough one. I'm sure it's a beautiful name when you can hear it said, but I don't know how to say it. Yeah. See, there you go. Now you thought you were gonna. See.
You know, I had a friend though that had a name similar to that. So Tom, Okay.
y'all are like, John's such a jerk and he doesn't know how to say these people's names. Guess what?
Well,
neither does she.
Her last name was oh gosh, I don't even remember. But you wouldn't even, looking at it, you would be like, oh. And then she would say it and it's like, yeah, it really flows.
And that's why I'm saying, I'm sure Tom's name is that way too. If I could just hear it, it would be like, oh, that makes sense. But it's anyway, let's move on.
No worries, man. LOL.
It's one of the benefits to having a name like Hudson. Like nobody's ever mispronounced that name ever. I've never had to worry about it.
I've gotten in the habit because of saying Conroy so many times. I would be like, Conroy, Conroy. I do it with Hudson.
I do it too.
Hudson, Hudson.
I do that because I would always hear my dad order food at the Chinese restaurant or something, and he'd be like Hudson, Hudson. And so I grew up with that, and so I do it too. Even though it's the easiest name to spell. Like Smith, Smith. Everybody knows. Anyway, Tom said, hey, guys, happy Thanksgiving. I'm going to be setting up a 90-gallon. Would it be better to have Mbuna do the... wait a minute. I'm going to be setting up a new 90. Would it be better to have Mbuna due to the MC square type shape? Or would Geophagus species be okay? Or does it matter? MC square type shape. I don't know what that means. Maybe what you're saying is that because a 90-gallon is a little bit more of a cube type tank, maybe that's what the answer to your question is it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, a 90-gallon, we have a 90-gallon, we have peacocks in there, 10 of them in there. They're doing perfectly fine. They're not breeding yet, those jerks. I don't know what their problem is.
I've been putting all kinds of setups in there and trying to get them in the mood and stuff.
When we find a mama, we're just going to have to strip her because there's been a couple of mamas in there, but then it doesn't last. So
probably because they get ate.
Yeah. Well, but a 90-gallon.
I'll just stick her in a 10 and let her spit.
There you go.
Well, I mean, it's not like we're breeding for money, so it's like, might as well leave her alone.
But to answer your question, Tom, it really doesn't matter. There's so many people that have Mbunas in tanks smaller than that, Geophagus in tanks smaller than that. You're not going to want to mix those two, but if you're choosing one or the other, you can't lose either way. Those are both awesome fish. Mbunas might be a little bit more challenging than the Geophagus, but Boy, are they nice. I love my yellow labs. I've never had one yellow lab die from aggression in that tank. We've had Mbunas in the past die.
No, there was one that died.
There was one that died, but it wasn't beat up. It just died.
I really think it was a female who had been holding for all that time, and she finally spit her fry out, and she was just weak because she hadn't eaten all that time, and probably did get stressed out and chased around.
But she wasn't beat up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've had those fish for 2 years now.
Yeah.
I mean, we've only lost a couple of fish out of there. I just love it. I love it so much. And they've grown a lot. I don't know how much you can see them in the background of the Sunday videos. They've grown a lot. And it's really impressive to see. Now. I know. It's so sad.
Because I put the 8 babies in there that were like this big. They were like dude size when we first got them. And so like they're all the new dudes. So, Johnny at Dan's Fish said, just bought 125 for my G. Am I saying that right? Millerai? Or is it Millerai? Now to find time to set it up. Wow. Yeah, you definitely have to find time because you don't want 125 gallons sitting around. And,
he's working at Dan's Fish, so he's a busy guy, though.
This is true. This is true. And speaking of Dan's Fish, you should check him out. He's got some awesome fish.
Don't check him out, because that would be weird. He's a happily married man. But check out his website that has some gorgeous fish on there.
And I think Bob has an affiliate link somewhere.
But Bob's weird. You don't want to do that.
I don't know. If somebody wanted to put Bob's affiliate link in, that's fine. I don't mind. But Dan has some really cool fish. I have been going on his site the past couple weeks, and I've been really checking out those fish because I want to get a few things, but it just has to be the right time, and I have to have the right tank ready for it. So it's like, I shouldn't be telling people this because they're going to get the fish I want.
Bard's Tail Golden said, happy Turkey Day. Bought Aquatop Pisces from you guys for my beta, also one of yours. Any tips on how to adjust flow? I don't know what spell check did to you there. It's strong for him. Yes. I should probably just do a short on this. So what you do, it's very simple. You take an old sponge, not that you cleaned your dishes with, obviously, but an old sponge from one of your filters, or even if you're using a hang on the back filter that has cartridges, pull that foam off of there and you just wrap it around the output, not the input, the output, and use a rubber band to hold it in place. Boom. There you go. It'll slow it down without making it nothing. That's what we did. We had some leftover black sponge. I don't know. And I cut them up and wrapped it around, put a black rubber band on there, and it was black foam. So it's invisible. You can't even tell that it's there, and it works really well. Basically what it does is it just kind of makes the flow go all directions. And because it was a coarse foam, and it's beautiful and it's easy. If you need to clean it off, pop it right off, squeeze it a couple times, put it back on. It's simple. That's what I've done with ours that have betas in them, and it's been perfectly fine. I've actually talked with Aquatop about, hey, maybe we should put an adjustable flow on the pump. But what I say to these people means nothing. They're like, right. Yeah, whatever. They're forgetting what I'm saying as soon as I'm saying it. So,
well, I think that sponge that's on all of them has worked out great, and all of the plants are still growing like crazy, and it ends up being the best flow once that's put on it.
Definitely does.
Yeah.
Do we want to take a quick?
Oh, thank you, Zen.
Quick side note and talk about what we did last weekend. Was it last weekend? Last Sunday?
What did we do? Oh, yeah.
Let me...
Oh, no. Be careful trying to share.
No, pictures are easy.
Okay.
I want to show you a picture of a guy that Lisa and I went. This has nothing to do with fish.
Did you see?
Although there is a small fish connection. We will make it a connection with fish. What selfie?
The selfie that I'm in. Didn't I send it to you?
I don't know.
I sent it to Zen.
We went last Sunday and spent the evening with this guy. Does anybody recognize that fella there? That was as good a picture as I got. And that is from our seats. Yes, I splurged for my wife. I love my wife. And she is a massive Adam Sandler fan.
I love Adam Sandler.
As am I. And he had his tour. They came along. And I said, hey, I'm taking my old lady to see Adam Sandler.
Don't call me an
and
old
I'm
lady.
getting her front row tickets.
But don't say old lady.
And they were not cheap. But it was absolutely well worth it. And here's the thing. I've talked about this on the stream that we were going to be going to this. And that there were rumors that some of his crew would show up. Because when he sells tickets to his shows, it says, and a surprise guest. And so they had an opener come out and he was just like some guy. I've never heard of him. No disrespect to him. I just had no idea who he was. Apparently he was in that movie Hustle, which I have not seen yet. I think his name was Jay something. I don't know. He was all right. He was fine. And then the girl came out. What was her name? Sherman.
She was annoying.
Sharon Sherman.
I wasn't a fan.
She's currently on the cast of Saturday Night Live.
She was no Lulu, that's for sure.
When she was done, I was kind of like, all right, well, that was a thing. Like it was a lot. She was a lot. And so that was cool.
That's
but
selfie. That's me.
Oh yeah. Are you in that picture?
Yeah, do you see me? Look, see the circle? That's me, my hair. You see how my hair's out?
I'm gonna share that too. So he did keep both. I guess you did send that to me already. Did he post that on Instagram?
Yeah, but it's not like you can really tell it's me. But I know it's me because that's where I was sitting. That's why I circled it. That's me.
Yeah, and I mean, you should have been able to see me because I was in a bright orange Crystalia hoodie, but
maybe the blue's covering you up because from the blue circle because I was too worried about showing you me.
Yeah. So the cool thing about this show, and I know this doesn't have any, well, like I said, it will be a small connection to fish, but it's not a fish related thing, but it's Thanksgiving and I can talk about whatever I want to talk about. So, so those two people came out and I was kind of like, this girl from Saturday Night Live, she's kind of getting on my nerves and, I kind of hope she's done. And I was disappointed because I was like, man, I was really hoping to see Schneider or Spade or Swardson or, Chris Rock. That would have been madness if Chris Rock showed up. I was not expecting that. Any of the Adam Sandler crew, everybody knows his whole crew. And so when this girl from Saturday Night Live was done, she introduced Rob Schneider, which I was like, yes.
He was so awesome.
He came out. The very first thing he said was, "You can do it." It was beautiful. It was wonderful. He was awesome.
Yeah.
He did like 10 minutes. And then, completely unexpected, he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, blah, 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 David Spade." And David Spade came out and did like 10 minutes.
Right there in front of us. It was awesome.
It was absolutely amazing to see all three of those guys. And then, of course, when Sandler came out, it was absolute madness.
And then the other guy that's been on the Adam Sandler like movies and stuff, like Waterboy and all, I
looked him up. I cannot remember his name to save my life.
I looked him up too.
The guy, everybody, if you're a Sandler fan, you know who this guy is. He's actually Adam Sandler's personal assistant. But he's been in a bunch of his movies, and he's the guy, the real big guy with the eyes that go like this, like his eyes go all over the place. That guy, he was there too. In fact, the picture that we just showed you with when Sandler had the glasses on, he brought him those glasses and handed him that phone that he used to do the selfie. So, and then he came out and he did the thing with the eyes, and he only said like 4 words into the microphone, but what a cool night. And then during the show, if you've ever seen Sandler in anything but movies, it's not like he's just up there telling jokes the whole time. He sings songs. It's an amazing show. He brought Spade out for one of his songs, and he brought Schneider out, and Schneider sang an Elvis song. Amazingly, it was unbelievable how good he sounded.
Then he wanted to sing songs and get people from the crowd. And there were 2 times he got people from the front row, and I'm like, this and stuff. And John's like, no.
He had a flashlight and he was looking for people, and he would basically like roast these people. Yeah. And both times he put the light on us and then skipped past us and went to the people next to us.
I'm so glad.
But yeah, it was an amazing show. So much fun. Adam Sandler's live show is a rare thing. He's doing 20 shows this year. Who knows when he'll do it again. If you're a fan of the guy, you will not be disappointed if you go to this show. It's unbelievable.
But don't try to take your kid.
Yeah, that was wild.
Gosh,
we're sitting there.
Crazy.
It's 10 minutes before the show, and this guy that you could tell was obviously from California, he came out into the crowd, and he was like, hey, talking to these people behind us. He's like, I work for Adam, and this is going to be a problem. And she had her 13, was she 13, 12?
12. She's
12-year-old daughter there, which, if you think about it, that totally makes sense. If you think about, Adam Sandler movies, maybe the more recent stuff like Grown Ups and stuff like that is, kids watch that. Maybe early days, maybe they didn't watch as much Sandler. But anyway, they're thinking they're going to see this silly, zany guy, and his show is very, very R-rated.
Really R-rated.
I mean, like, it's hardcore, which is great. I mean, it's hilarious for us, but lady,
it was hardcore before he even came out from that woman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She was not like she is on Saturday Night Live, but, the mom was like, hey, it's fine. I mean, she's watched rated R movies and hears bad words, and that's fine. And that's exactly how I would be. I mean, it's 2022. If I had a 12-year-old, I'd be like, it's Sandler. I mean, come on. He's going to talk about boners and stuff, but you've heard that stuff before. But the guy said, yeah, but see, if she's here and he sees her, which he will, because she's in the second row, it's going to completely throw him off, and he's not even really going to be able to do the show that he wants to do. And everybody, 20,000 people, are going to be disappointed because he's not going to be able to do what he wants to do. And surprisingly, the lady was like, okay, well, we'll just leave. And they just left. They refunded their tickets. Yeah, but he was like, I can get some merch for you, and Adam will sign it for you and all of this, and we can move you back so that he doesn't see you. But she was like, no, we'll just leave. All right, whatever.
But he did refund them. And then the cool thing was he went and just randomly gave those 2 seats to people that had been sitting way far.
Yep.
And when those 2 people got there and they were sitting behind us, they were like, I can't believe that this guy just gave us these tickets to sit here. Oh, and they were so appreciative and happy. And I was like, oh. So.
Yeah. It was an amazing night, and it was a long night, but it was so much fun. Definitely recommend that tour if you ever get an opportunity to see it. Yeah. Kendra Crippen, with a nice little heart. Thank you. That is a cool looking animal on your avatar. I don't know what it is, but it's really cool. Mr. Rover Pilot. So I have roughly 600 newly free swimming angel fry. Good grief, you are a pro.
Yeah, you.
A complete surprise to me. I transferred them into a 15-gallon tank. Any advice for me?
Wow.
You need a lot more tank. 15-gallon is going to cut it for about 24 hours. And those fry are going to grow super fast.
Did you do it without the parents, I guess? Because I know that when I had bred the angelfish and I separated them, I used a turkey baster to teach them how to swim.
Well, he said they're free swimming.
Oh, they're free swimming. I didn't even see that.
Okay. Definitely look up hatching baby brine shrimp. That will be your best friend. That is a way to get a lot of food that is really teeny itty bitty food that I've never seen a fish not gobble up.
If not, just use like crow flakes and rub them in your hand and make them super, super, super powdery fine and stick it in there. That's really all you need to do. That's all I did.
There are pellets. We have the North Fin fry starter, and then we also have the Nano from Extreme, which the fry starter is actually smaller than the Nano. But like she just said, you can crumble up some flakes, and flakes will kind of crumble up on their own too. So, but again, if you want them to grow super fast, you want the highest survival rate, and you want to get a lot of food very fast for them, brine shrimp is the way to do it.
I mean, I've even used, I've boiled an egg and used the yolk and put the yolk in there, and it kind of does breaks apart and dissolves a little, and they love it.
Yep. And I mean, straight up protein for them. So, but you are going to want to get them in something bigger. Like I said, that 15-gallon, you did the right thing by putting them in there to keep them away from getting eaten. But, I mean, 600, good Lord, you need a lot of tank for those. I mean, a lot. That's a lot of fish, and they're going to grow way faster than you think they will. Especially if you feed them the way we've been talking about. So what I would probably do is invest in one of those big totes, the not totes, but the big stock tanks.
Yeah, definitely.
If you want to have them all in one thing, get one of those big 300-gallon ones, which you could stick on the floor of your garage or something like that. And
don't beat yourself up over, losing a few of them. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
There's going to be the ones that are deformed. There's going to be the ones that are runts. There are ones that just can't keep up. Yeah. I mean, you're going to, even the best breeders lose fish. So,
Salient Aquatic said, I saved 3 betas 3 weeks ago. I gave them a home, 2 females, 1 male. And I now have 4 betas. Their fins were tattered. I fixed them with salt and low stress environment and good food. Great job. That's awesome.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Clean water's the best medicine. A Royal Pain, Bosemani Rainbow Tank. What kind of filter? I'm a CJ guy. And what kind of tank mates? Well, we were just talking about the perfect filter for you. I don't know what size tank you're talking about there. But, if you want to buy from us, we've got 2, actually 5 CJ filters, because we've got the internal canisters, the Shark 80V, the Micron, and the Shark Pro. We have the new, it's not a new filter, but new to us, the Space Echo canister filter, and then also the Tidal filters. Wait, John, those are CChem. Yeah, but they're made by CJ for CChem. So technically we have 5 CJ filters. If you want to go canister, if you want to buy from us, you have to go with the Space Echo, and you'll love it because it's super easy to maintain, and it's not outrageously expensive. It's not the cheapest one on the market, but it's also not outrageously expensive. So I hope that helps. What tank mates? The guy that is in the chat right now that is a jerk, the guy. I don't even need to say his name. But it rhymes with Bob Steenfott. He's the rainbow guy, so you can ask him. I've never kept a rainbow fish.
I've wanted to.
I want to too, but I never. And the Bosemani's, I love those. I know they're like the most generic.
They had some really pretty ones at Shed.
Yeah, I love rainbows, but I've just, for whatever reason, I've never had them. So, yeah, there you go. I mean, tank mates, from what I understand, community fish are going to be fine with rainbows. I don't think I've ever heard a story about rainbows being overly aggressive. So
I just won't put them with an Oscar.
Yeah, maybe not. But that wouldn't be a community fish anyway.
It was a joke. Take a joke.
We're on the internet.
Okay.
We got to make sure people know. I'm already getting canceled for saying the R word earlier.
Oh.
I didn't even mean to say it. That just popped out of my mouth. I'm sorry if it offended anybody. Evan Rifkin, our best friend from, where's he from again? Sorry, Evan. I see your address every week. He orders from us. I believe he's in Illinois. Pretty confident he's in Illinois.
He's got a really cool channel now.
He does. John and Lisa, what fish are you most thankful for being in the hobby? Not necessarily one you have now, just in general. Yet you can't... What you needed to say there, Evan, was you're not allowed to say Oscars or betas.
Oh, well, I would say Discus.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely.
Me, there's been a fish in the last year and a half. We were talking about this last night.
Biker?
You're talking about tattoos.
Biker?
Let me finish, woman.
You're really sassy tonight, John.
There's been a fish that over the course of the last couple of years has really sparked this hobby for me. And it's the bikers. Bisher, if you want to be a weirdo and call them that. Whatever way you pronounce that fish, I like saying bikers because it's cool. I've never lost interest in this hobby ever since 1993. But I've had moments where the hobby gets elevated for me. And that did it. Those fish just, I'm obsessed with them. I absolutely love them. In fact, that guy that we were talking about earlier, I'll show you how much of a jerk this guy is. Again, I don't want to say his name, but it rhymes with Bob Steenfott. So he texted me the other day, you ever seen Lepradi polypterus, which is bikers? You ever seen Lepradi before? And I'm like, I was hurt. It hurt my feelings because, if he had watched probably one of my videos, he would know that I've got a 2-footer already and I've had him for a long time. And he's one of my favorite fish in the whole wide world. So that hurt my feelings that he didn't know that I had one. But
that'd be like you messaging him and saying, so do you like cats or dogs?
Yeah. You ever heard of a Doberman Pinscher? You ever heard one of those dogs?
Yeah. You like those little dogs, right? You like the little dogs?
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's the thing. I'm thankful for that fish. I have 3 of them. I have an ornate, a Lepradi, and Lecari. I love all 3 of them equally. The ornate was a gift from Eric Furlow, which is something is really growing. I love that one. He's a doll. Not Furlow. He's a doll too, but the fish is a doll.
Yeah.
They are crab, goyle, and Draco. Love them, and it's something. I had Senegals a long time ago. I had Senegal bikers, and I loved those too. But for whatever reason, it was just never something that grabbed me, the bikers. But when I got these 2, it was just, I started with 2 and then got the 3rd. It lit that fire again.
Woohoo. My Walmart package is on the way.
Working on Thanksgiving.
Black Friday shopping today.
So yeah, that's what I'm thankful for the most, Evan. And you know what? It has to be said. People like Evan and people like all of you that are in here right now, and even people whose name rhymes with Bob Steenfott, this community, this life that we're living is unthinkable. So that's what I'm thankful for too. I know that's a little cheesy, but it's true. Little Mountain Life, that's a cool name. 2 Echo 300s versus an FX4 for my 125-gallon Discus display tank. Also, you following Hans to the Asian Discus world or stay with Stenker at Super Cichlids. I I don't like what Stenker did to Hans. If I'm being brutally honest, I think they're a bunch of scumbags for doing what they did to him. And I'll say it to their face. Yeah. So, every single person there can go F themselves as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I'm sticking with Hans.
I am not saying that about Super Cichlids. I was not directing that at Super Cichlids. We've had nothing but pleasant dealings with them, but the people at Stenker can kick rocks as far as I'm concerned. We love Hans, the human being. We love the way he takes care of his fish, his knowledge about fish. He is a friend as well as somebody that we work with. So we'll follow him to the end.
He's like family to us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And
his facility, what he's got going on is amazing. I get a lot of footage of what's going on in there. So it's amazing. He's got big things going on. So I'm excited for him.
Yep. We're going to have to get up there and see that when it's all said and done. Marley, I'm going away for a month. I didn't skip one. Yeah. I'm going away for a month and my sister is taking care of my 5 tanks. Please pray all my fish survive. Aww. That's a long time. I really hope, Marley, looks like you have Sid Vicious as your avatar, or somebody
Marley's
that looks like Sid
awesome.
Vicious.
I see Marley in here all the time.
That is a long time to put your fish in the care of other people. And yeah, the prayers are going to be needed on that.
You need to always make sure you give the, what am I trying to say? For the feeding part, the bare minimum. Just really, it's the bare minimum.
Yes.
Underfeed.
And I forgot to answer Little Mountain Life's question, other than I got caught up in wanting to curse at Stenker and didn't get to the other thing. Okay, here's the deal. I'm not trying to be a salesman. I'm really not. But 2 canister filters is a really cool thing. We don't have 2 canister filters running on any of our tanks. So it's not like this is something that I practice. But having 2 filters on a tank is a cool thing. Because you can maintain one, leave the other one alone, and then the following month maintain the other one. You're not ever, having to maintain everything all at one time. You got 2 returns, spraying water, 2 different places. You got 2 intakes. The more the merrier. It's a great thing. The FX4 is a phenomenal canister filter. We have one on your Discus tank. It's been running like a powerhouse forever. I don't even know how long we've had it. It's been a long time. Fluval sent us that filter as soon as it came out. So however long the FX4 has been out, that's how long we've had it. And it's been just flawless since the day we got it.
Right.
So you'll never hear me say a bad thing about that. There is a FX2 coming that's out now.
We even found some betas in it once.
What?
Remember when it was on the beta sorority tank before I took that down? And there were betas.
Really?
And when we went to clean it out, I was like, oh, that's where they went.
Little rascals. So either way you go, whether it's 2 Space Echoes, 2 anything, or the FX4, which would probably end up being about the same money, you're going to be fine either way. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. I'd love to sell you 2 300s. I wouldn't even have to take them out of the case. I'll just slap a label on the box that CJ sent them to me in. But either way you go, you're going to be fine.
Okay, this is important. Melissa Jeswald asked me, where do you order your plants? My son's birthday is tomorrow, and I'd like to send him a gift certificate. He's into plants too. This is the thing. As far as a gift certificate, I've gotten them at this one place where I've ordered a lot of plants from. And it can be pricey, but it can also be affordable if you do it correctly and get the plants that are on sale or sign up for the email list that you'll get every single day.
Sometimes 3 or 4 times a day. It's quite annoying.
Because I signed it up on his email too.
She did.
But planarena.com, I've had nothing but good things, like as far as to say about her website. And no, I am not affiliate. I do not get anything out of saying that, but they do really good as far as shipping in the winter or summer. If you like just to get plants, there are other places you can get them cheaper, like Etsy or whatever. But what are you doing?
I'm reading an email. Just keep going.
But yeah, she does gift certificates and stuff. I was gonna say, if you were in the Richmond area, I would go to Strange's because you can get gift certificates there. That's a really, really cool nursery that has lots of awesome houseplants too. All right, but I answered your question. Planarena.com.
Planarena, you've got a lot of our money. You need to slow down in the emails. It's too much. Your products are great. Our living room is beautiful because of your plants. Stop sending so many emails. Master Dex, I just wanted to say hello from Ireland. Been following for years. Speaking of geos, any tips on inducing breeding? Never bred geos.
No. Jason's got some.
Jason has, and maybe this is another person. Maybe Master Dex thinks that Jason shaved and gained 30 pounds, and it's me. But pretty much all fish, it is clean water, no stress, and full bellies. That's what's going to make them breed. So, and that's pretty much across the board. I mean, it doesn't really matter what kind of fish we're talking about. Having the right environment, low stress, good clean water, healthy fish, full bellies, I'm going to start popping them out for you. So that should work with them. And that is, yes, completely a generic answer, but I haven't bred them, so that's as good as I can do. Dwayne Moretta, are Blackmore goldfish difficult to keep alive, or is it that just something my dad told my mom so he didn't have to... Sorry, it's cut off. Have to... Let me do this. I want to get the whole... Have to clean up after them.
Oh.
They have a reputation. I mean, a lot of the fancy goldfish.
We had a Blackmore with our goldfish back when the goldfish were in my old office, when it was your office, and it didn't survive. And I don't know. It was like a couple weeks. And
I think it's a thing with all goldfish. It doesn't matter what kind they are. Goldfish are slobs. They eat a lot. They poop a lot. Their water's funky. And I think that what happens is a lot of people believe that, goldfish are the easiest fish in the world to keep. That's why they can put them in carnival games and, have people bounce ping pong balls off their heads and they'll still survive. And this is just not true. In fact, goldfish are as demanding, if not more demanding, than most fish that we keep in this hobby, simply because they are such huge waste producers. So it doesn't matter if it's a Blackmore or a Ranchu or any of them. You got to be on your game. They're not hard fish to keep as long as you're willing to do the maintenance. I mean, that's the name of the game with them, because they are big poopers. So Dwayne, you're not going to do this. I know you're not going to do this, but if you're somebody that keeps them in a bowl and you change the water out every couple of weeks and then they keep dying and then you're like, oh my God, they're so hard to keep. No, they're not. You're just an idiot and you're not doing a good job keeping them. Not you, Dwayne. I'm talking about the person in the hypothetical little story that I'm telling. That's why they developed the reputation, because people are idiots and they don't know how to take care of them. Jeff H. just got here. Happy Thanksgiving from Ellen and I to all the fish fam. Hope everyone is full and well. I'm full of some stuff.
I've just been I've been eating gummy savers.
Yeah, we didn't do our Thanksgiving dinner today. We're doing that on Saturday. It's all good. I had macaroni and cheese for dinner.
I had leftover pizza from last night.
I had that for lunch, but Scotty Aquati, that's a funny name, became a member. Welcome to the team, Scotty Aquati. I love saying that name.
He's so awesome.
That's fun. Master Aquatics, just call me Eduardo, member for 10 months.
Hi, Eduardo.
There was no message attached. So hey, Eduardo.
Yeah, good to see you.
I guess these are I don't know what's. I guess maybe they're re-upping during the stream, and maybe that's why it's popping out.
Stephen P's in here too, so we got to say hi to Stephen P.
I won't say it though.
I just say Stephen P.
Jack also re-upped membership. The guy that rhymes with Steenfot Aquatics says, "Is this a fish channel?" Probably because I was talking about Adam Sandler, and you know what? Screw him. I don't have time for his nonsense.
Who? Adam Sandler? Or
no, Bob Steenfot, that idiot.
Wow.
I have so much fun with Bob. It's so fun. He doesn't talk about me nearly as much as I talk about him in his stream. And he's going to say, well, it's because you don't comment on my stream. I'm in there. I'm keeping an eye on you. But I'm just not saying anything.
It's so funny because I do the exact same thing. I just lurk. Because it's really hard when it's just not the same as it used to be, where I'd be able to go in and chit-chat in the comment section because, like,
you're a superstar. People go crazy when you go in there.
That has nothing to do with it. It has absolutely nothing to do with it. It's because I can't continue commenting because got my hands in the fish tanks and stuff all the time, and I have streams on kind of as like background noise just to listen, and kind of helps people out because I'm watching, even though they don't know.
And listen, Saab Beanfot, I am never going to be a guy that does a live stream and talks about fish the entire time. Why? Because that's boring. That's why. And so I have had more people come up to me in person at these events saying, I love when you break away and you talk about other things. Nobody wants to admit it, but nobody wants to sit down and hear an hour and a half about how many fish can you put in this and what's the pH for that and how many gallons this. Nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah, they do.
So
people want to hear it.
Hear a little story about Adam Sandler or something like that, which was a great story. You're just jealous that you didn't get to see Rob Schneider, Adam Sandler, that girl from Saturday Night Live, whatever her name is, and Spade all in one shot. You're just jealous, and I understand. We were front row too, so I'd be jealous too if I was you.
Rude to Bob.
Bob knows. He knows it's just fun. He does the same thing to me, so I don't feel bad for it. Jeff H., what did he do?
He pooped on us, didn't he? Because that's what he does.
Melissa Jeswald, happy Thanksgiving, John and Lisa, and to the kitties, puppies, and fish. Hugs. Aww. We have another cat.
Yeah, it's called New Kitty. New Kitty.
It has not approached us yet, but it's been in the yard.
I feed it on the front porch now, and it was up there today going to get its food. And the problem with that is Gerald and Jasper haven't had their food yet. So they followed New Kitty up on the porch, and I heard meow, meow, meow. And Gerald's just like, get off my porch. Weave first. Poor New Kitty.
Yeah, it's all Gerald too. It's not Jasper.
Jasper sits there and watches Gerald do it now. He's like an instigator, like, go get that cat. Get it.
Mr. Rover Pilot again came in and said, I have a 46 bow front. I can move them to when they grow up, meaning the 600 angel fry.
Oh.
And then a 72 bow front. I need it to be progressive. Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of bow fronts. Yeah, I mean, that's what really needs to happen. They're just going to need to continue to step up, and the army of fry will start to dwindle down a little bit again, because there's going to be some loss. I don't care how good you are. But yeah, you're going to need to keep moving them up. So that's good. You've got some progress, some steps that you can take with them. But 600 fish are still going to end up needing to be in something significantly larger than even just a 72. But you're doing the right thing. Keep moving them up. Yeah, keep that water clean. Keep them well fed.
Yep.
And you're going to have a buttload of fish.
Yeah. I see Lefty's in here. Hey, Lefty.
Lefty.
And Matt, Liquid Zoo. Oh, what did Bob mean by that?
Oh, Lord. What did
Lisa makes it hard. What? To watch? Oh, sorry.
That's just Bob doing what Bob does. If you don't know, we'll have a talk after the stream when we're not in front of 84,000 people. And I'll explain what he meant by that.
Oh, is there a story about that? What do you guys talk about when I'm not around?
Just read the words. It should be pretty easy to understand where he was going with that.
Okay. Oh, Bambi said, we have a new kitty too. Followed my daughter home from school. No owner found yet. Very sweet boy. Guess what, Bambi? You are the new owner. You are the owner now.
Theo Vaughn is hilarious. Could not agree more. Love. He said, got him. I love Theo Vaughn.
Oh, Jeff Rose. Hey, Jeff Rose. And Lady Rorschach.
I did a little homage, I guess you could say, to Theo Vaughn, and nobody knew it in a video recently. If you've seen his most recent Netflix special, there's a line that he says in there where I can't even remember what the line is, but he says, you know, if you're somebody that worries about this, just don't worry about that. And it's hilarious the way he says it. And I did that exact thing in the video 2 weeks ago, and nobody knew that it was a Theo Vaughn reference. And that's good. That means I did my job. I did it well. Liquid Zoo, Only Fins. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you both for the years of support of the Fish Fam. You are appreciated. Well, we appreciate you too. You too, my friend. We're sitting here looking at your name tags. That's where he's the one that sent those, right?
Yeah. That was so awesome.
They're sitting really on my desk.
That was awesome that he made those for everybody.
Yes, indeed. We're at 9:22 where I'm all caught up on my stuff here. What John makes ping pong hard for Bob. Yeah, we all know that, right? We all know who was victorious there.
Weren't you talking about that on Fishy Business stream that night last week?
Yeah, I mean,
he was talking a lot of crap about you, Bob. I mean, it was crazy. I was like, I'm surprised he's not in here taking up for himself.
They were questioning my greatness, is what it was. And I was like, hey, listen, I'm the only person that can say I'm undefeated when it comes to Aquashella. I've not lost at anything I've done at Aquashella, whether it be ping pong, cornhole, none of it.
Here we go. You want to just...
You may argue that I lost. You may argue that I lost the debate with Jake, and that I would not argue with that. But that was not a sporting event. That was a debate. But when it comes to the superior athleticism that I possess, I haven't lost yet at anything that I've done. So people are asking for plant of the week. You didn't bring one in here.
I didn't, and you want to know something? Let's talk about plants for just a second. I've been bad. I've been kind of bad. We've had a lot going on, and I've neglected my plants a little bit. And not on purpose. I've watered the ones that need to be watered. I rotate them throughout the house, but I haven't repotted some of them. And that's shameful because I have some that are still in their, their grow pots that I ordered them in, and they're not going to do anything. They're just going to kind of stay the same size. And I'm very ashamed of myself with that. So I haven't been buying any lately. I've done a little bit of propagating. What did you say?
Nothing.
I've been doing a little bit of propagating, not a lot, just a little bit. And I've been moving some of them out to the fish house. I've got more going on out there. So that's good. But I've been kind of neglectful, and so that's one of the reasons why I didn't do plant of the day. Something that I think that people don't realize is that it is okay, though. If you find a dead leaf, just pick it off. Plants do die. I don't mean the whole plant, but you do have leaves that die sometimes, and it's okay. You keep taking care of your plant. keep giving it the light it needs, keep watering it, and repot it when it needs to be repotted.
Well, and in her defense, she usually drives me crazy with her plants, leaving them in the sink and all this other nonsense. But with the family room remodel that I've taken a month to get done, the house has been turned upside down.
Yeah.
Because everything was pulled out of that room and put places they didn't or were not supposed to go, including a bunch of plants. So things were just all over the place. So it was difficult to get back into that normal routine. But
I'm really looking forward to getting back into the routine though, because I've got so much I want to do, and I've got so much, like I want to make my I have a bunch of stuff to make my own potting mix and stuff. So I'm excited about that, and I've got all the seeds and little pots and stuff, so I can start growing my plants again in the clear tote containers. So I am really excited to start getting that going again. So yeah. Ooh, and Melanie DC said, I got my orchid to rebloom. Win for me. Yes, my orchid that I had on the it's on the sink. I have the best huge kitchen window with lots of light, and my orchids love it there. When we moved here, 2 of my orchids were like, they hadn't bloomed for, I guess, a month or 2 or whatever. But when we moved here, they started growing their stem, and they started blooming again. Because it's not hard to get orchids to bloom, you know, they'll grow and bloom, and once they're done after 5-6 months, you cut it back and they'll do it again. But I have a new growth somewhere on one of my other ones, and I'm so excited because it came out of like nowhere, and I'm like, oh, this is amazing. It's amazing. So yeah, I love my orchids. That I should have brought in, because that would have been a good one to show. Sorry, what were you saying?
I feel like I was going to say something, but I don't remember what I was going to say. But Joe DeMeo came in and said, I love you guys. And then he's had a cool little pair, which I still feel like, Joe, cool. It's very nice of you to do. And you've sent that particular pair before. If you have a dirty mind like me,
oh my gosh,
it's maybe that's why you send it, because you know I freak out every time I see that. But that's really, really funny. Anyway, hopefully y'all don't look at that. Now I want to make a recommendation. I'm going to recommend a YouTube channel to y'all. We got 2 minutes left before we shift you over to Fish from Fever. And so since we're all caught up, there is a new series on HBO. If you have HBO, and I got to find out what it's called. I started watching it, and I'm going to recommend something else, because, it'll all make sense in a minute. The series is called Low Country, The Murdoch Dynasty. This is about that family in South Carolina that, like, every person in the family has murdered somebody and gotten away with it. It's a devastating story. It's one of those stories. It's kind of like Making a Murderer and Tiger King and all of those, where it takes so many twists and turns, and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe this one family has gotten away with all of this. But here's the thing. There is a YouTube channel. The channel is called Eric Allen. I'm gonna share it in the chat right now. And this guy, I saw a video that he did a long time ago. Well, I mean, it was within the last year. There it is. I just put it in the chat. This guy, a YouTuber, started at 0 subscribers, you know, because that's where you all start.
Everybody starts at 0, duh.
And let me find out here. His very first video 1 year ago was made about the same story that this case is with on HBO. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's done 8 videos, including the most recent one was 2 months ago. 8 videos about this same case that is in this documentary series on HBO that's called Low Country, whatever it was that I just said. I'm going to tell you this, and this is just a fact. This YouTube channel, this one guy that did all of this, produced a better product than what's on HBO right now. I'm serious. The way he goes about it and the way he explains this story and the way it's shot and the unbelievable storytelling that this guy has is way better than what's on HBO right now. He has like 12 videos on his channel, 13 videos on his channel, and he has 115,000 subscribers. What does that tell you? All of his videos are like ridiculous views. This guy is an absolute pro. And I watched his videos first, and now I'm watching the series on HBO, and I'm watching it and I'm like, man, this is not as good as what that YouTube channel did. So if you're interested in that story, click on that link that I just shared in the chat and watch that guy's videos from the first video on, and you'll be amazed. That guy is elite. He is very, very good, and it's better than HBO. It's 8:31, so we got to pass you all over.
9:31.
That's what I meant. So you got to say goodbye to everybody. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Bye.
Oh, you just going to say bye like that?
No. Well, anyways, I thank you guys for hanging out with us, and I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Thank you, mods. We appreciate you so much. We appreciate everybody that's watching and hanging out. So have a wonderful rest of your evening, and don't forget to check out our Black Friday sale at keepfishkeeping.com.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.